is 2.5 and your APR is higher, or you could have another lender that's at 2.875, which seems like a higher rate, but their APR could be lower because they're charging less in fees. So you really want to look at that APR. That kind of gives you the truest indicator of exactly what the rate is based on the fees. So you got to be careful when you're looking at these loans. A lot of people don't realize it. I get quotes all the time. People will send me their quote that they've gotten from another lender and say, this is the best rate I've found. And I'll look at it and say, yeah, it's the best rate, but it's the worst APR and you're paying the highest fees for it. So realistically, when you figure it out over time, you're just prepaying that interest up front instead of getting a true lower interest rate.
And is that ever a good deal, or is it just
no? If the APR is higher, it's a worse deal, plain and simple. Yeah, you can. If you want me to look at a quote that you have, I'm happy to do it. If I can't do better, I'll tell you. But what I will do is show you where the I always say where the bodies are buried.
Bodies are buried.
Yeah, I'll show you where they're hiding those fees, or what's causing that APR. And then when you look at a couple of the estimates side by side, then you start to see a little bit better how it works. You're listening to Home Loans Radio. We're going to be right back with our final segment.
Do you have a question for that mortgage guy, Don? Text us at 77031. Now back to Home Loans Radio on Real Radio.
Oh, yeah. Home Loans Radio on Real Radio with MJ. I'm Fritz, and we got that mortgage guy, Don, who's looking super, super sexy. Oh, my God. Just saw a picture of him with his new gear. Nicely done, guys.
Oh, I'm blushing out loud. Welcome back to Home Loans Radio right here. We're doing.
What does blushing sound like?
You're listening to it, baby.
You're listening to it right here on Real Radio, where we do everything. We talk about everything. We talk about the mortgages and the home loans and the juice and
you
all
can
that
put
stuff.
a little beet juice on your cheeks too if you don't have any makeup.
Okay.
Make it look like you're blushing.
I feel like
I always want to look like I'm blushing. Thank you, MJ.
Just picture you like on a date at the salad bar, getting a little beet juice.
Just splashing it on your face like you're trying to wake up in the morning.
Oh, goodness. I'm a little pale. Hold on. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Home Loans Radio, folks. We're here doing what we do every single weekend, answering your questions about home loans and mortgages and buying homes, selling homes, doing all of that. You have been texting them in furiously to 77031. We've been also answering them with the same sense of urgency. And it's a good time to think about refinancing. I'm going to mention it again because I've had a lot of people tell me after they look into it, they're like, oh, man, thanks. I'm glad I heard say this is a good time, that rates are back down. If you have a rate with a 4 or a 5 in front of it, there was a big survey that came out that said only around 26% of the people that could lower their rate at least 1 point have done a refinance. That means 74% of you are burning money. You're just wasting money. You're just giving it to the bank. Don't do that. You go to homeloansradio.com, hit the apply now button. We'll send you a quote. Then you got something to look at. Then you can, we also had somebody earlier say they didn't know if it was worth it. They didn't know if it was, it's going to be too much paperwork or what have you. Well, get the quote, and then you'll have an exact idea of what the reward for for doing it is, and then you have something to decide with. You know what time it is, MJ?
Oh no, what time is it?
It's time for the speed round.
All right.
The speed round, in case you didn't know, is when we try and get to a lot of questions we haven't answered so far. If I don't get to your question here during the speed round or during the show, do please go to homeloansradio.com, copy paste it into the box that says Ask Don. That comes right to my email. I do want to get you an answer, and I will answer every single one of those that I get every single week.
All right, you ready? I'm going to ask you some questions. Answer them quick.
Yeah.
How much does it cost to get pre-approved?
$1 million. No, it's we don't charge anything to do a pre-approval. Some companies do charge application fees. I'm shocked. I'd say maybe 10 years ago there were a lot of companies that charged application fees. To do the application. We don't charge any application fee. I mean, that's crazy. Why would you do that?
Right?
Yeah.
Can you look at the loan estimate I received from another lender and tell me if it's good or if I can do better?
100%, absolutely. I probably get upwards of 20 estimates a week that people send me and ask me to look at them, and I'll give you my honest appraisal of it. If it's great, I'll tell you it's great. If I can do better, I'll tell you where and how, and I'll give you an estimate so you can see the different, the differences side by side, and you can and make that decision. But yeah, I'm happy to do it. Especially, I do want to say a lot of people are getting these FHA Streamline offers from their current bank. You may be able to do a conventional loan with no PMI. Like, in fact, most of the time you can, because house prices in Florida have gone up 20% in the last 2 years. So if you're looking at one of those FHA Streamlines, send it to me. I'll show you how you can avoid making a mistake there.
Does it make sense to pay points on a loan?
It can.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, it doesn't. I would say the majority of the time, no, but it can. And in particular on bigger loans, if you're $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 loan, points can make a difference. What they mean is, buying down the interest rate. Does that make sense? So what we would look at is the math. It's a simple math problem. If it costs you $2,000 to buy it down and it saves you $20 a month, and you know how many months that is, and if you're going to be in the house longer than that, then it makes sense. So yeah, it could.
What is a net tangible benefit?
Net tangible benefit. That is, so when you're doing a refinance through either VA or Fannie Mae or Freddie Mae, any of the big entities, they want to see that us as loan officers, that there's a reason we're doing the refinance, that there's a net tangible benefit to the borrower. It's either lowering their rate, it's removing PMI, it's getting them cash out, something along those lines. So there's a form we fill out for all those loans that shows, why are you doing this loan? You're not just doing a loan for somebody that doesn't even really need it. So the net tangible benefit means that this loan has some benefit for you to do a refinance, and it can be simple as getting cash out to do what you need to do. But it doesn't make any sense. Like if your rate's at 4 and I'm refinancing you at a 5, well, there's no reason for that. There's no benefit. Great question.
And what is a gift of equity purchase?
Gift of equity purchase. I've actually got it seems to be going on a lot right now. I think I have four for sure, and maybe one in the works. A gift of equity purchase is when you're buying or you're selling your home to a family member, or you're buying a home from a family member. You can, for the most part, other than the cost of the appraisal, if the equity is right and there's enough equity and the family member is willing to sell it to you for less than what it's worth, then you can use that difference between what it would appraise for and what they're willing to sell it for as a down payment. And so there's no physical cash that changes hand. Your dad or your uncle or your son or whoever can give you a gift of equity from that house that we turn into your down payment, and also can pay all of the closing costs. It's really an amazing program. If you're buying a house from a family member, there's a way to do that where almost no money has to change hands and no money has to come out of pocket. It definitely hit me up on that at homeloansradio.com. I can explain it to you.
All right. Here's your riddle.
Riddle time.
Within, I clean all that is bad and is old. I make juice that's the color of gold. Should I die, a filter machine would you need assembled to replace me, and the beans I resemble?
Yeah, one more time.
Okay. Within, I clean all that. I picked it because of the juice. Within, I clean all that is bad and that is old. I make juice that's the color of gold. Should I die? Stop it.
The worst juice.
Stay focused on the riddle.
I know the answer. It's the worst juice. But go ahead.
Should I die, a filter machine you would need assembled to replace me, and the beans I resemble?
Mm-hmm. You know what it is, Fritz?
What was? Yeah, I know what it. I mean, I read the
you
answer,
read the riddle,
but I do. Yeah.
Yes, the old kidney bean. No, the kidneys.
Yes.
Oh,
it makes golden juice.
The best juice.
Oh boy.
Best juice. That's terrible.
How did you find a juice riddle?
I just googled juice riddle. I got kidney juice. So not what I was.
That
shooting
sounds like
for.
a hip hop artist.
Kidney
Juice riddle.
Little baby kidney juice.
Little baby kidney juice. Oh, that's great.
Well, folks,
You've done it.
Yeah, you did it.
You
did it.
You made it.
You made it.
You've successfully whiled away another 90 minutes of your weekend morning listening to us prattle on about mortgages and juice. I don't know. We're going to see you next week. I don't know what else to say after all that. Have a great weekend, folks. HomeLoansRadio.com.
Bye.
Bye.
Skeleton, you look like your
You've been listening to Home Loans Radio with that mortgage guy, Don. Join us every Saturday at 9 a.m. on Real Radio 104.1 and check us out online at homeloansradio.com.